गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वम्। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमहिमा मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अद्वैत्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुवन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः। देवाय तस्मै नमः। So we saw the tree of life, the inverted tree. The roots are the Lord, the branches are the 14 worlds above and below. The leaves are the Vedas or the knowledge. The tree is nourished by the three gunas, and then the buds are the sense objects. And this tree of samsara is actually continuously strengthened. The secondary roots are the karma. So bound by karma, prompted by three gunas, we act, and then they create further seeds of action, and that's how this tree of samsara is very strong. It is not visible for the physical eyes to see, but it is something that each one has to come to experience within, that how one is bound in samsara, where not knowing my true self, I want to become something else, and in that becoming there is this cycle of desires, thoughts, actions, etc. How to cut this tree? So Bhagavan said, asanga shastrena gadena chitva, with the acts of detachment. What is detachment? So Gurudev used to define attachment as I plus I want. I means the ego, I want is the psychological dependency on things for happiness. So I plus I want is equal to attachment. So to rise above ego and selfishness is called detachment. So detachment is not going away somewhere else. Wherever I am, if I am able to act for a higher purpose and act with the attitude, how much can I give? That is selflessness. So if I do these two, then I am living in detachment. Even in a relationship you can apply. If one is attached very much to one's own son or a spouse or a sibling, whoever it is. How to be detached in that? So where the happiness of the beloved is more important than mine, there detachment has come. So that is rising above ego. And where I am doing things where I can give, my focus is not on how much did I get, my focus is on how much did I give, how much did I serve, how much did I sacrifice. No, but what if they don't give? That's the problem. That is called ego. Because then the joy is not in that love, in the relationship in giving. The joy is in the result which is going to come, and that's what binds us. When I rise above the ego, I can understand the beloved properly. If they want space, they have space. If they want their own choices to decide, they have their choices to decide. They have their freedom, it's their life. When one doesn't become possessive, then that is detachment. Same thing applies for objects, same thing applies for situations, where there is no psychological dependency on anything for happiness. So living in samsara, how to be beyond samsara is the acts of detachment, and firmly it has to be hit. Not now and then. Not that I can be detached for 2 days and then attached for the next 5 days, We should strike a balance in some. So right now I am 3 days detachment, 4 days attachment. Slowly I will increase. Firmly one has to hit. If one understands that detachment brings joy, then it will happen. Our problem is detachment is equated with pain. अरे रे सबका त्याग करना पड़ेगा, छोड़ना पड़ेगा, सब कुछ. Ego I have to drop this, I have to drop that. Ego, when you drop, the biggest benefit comes to me only. I am so free, so happy. Ego is my biggest problem. If one understands that very clearly, that attachment and ego is equal to the direct proportion of my sorrow is with my ego. Greater my ego, greater my attachment, greater is my sorrow. Lesser ego, lesser attachment, greater is my happiness. That much has to be understood, that's all. In deep sleep, why are we so happy? Bhagavan has given us unconsciously an experience of detachment. Every day we experience detachment. We go beyond ego, selfish desires, people, possessions, everything. Whoever that person may be, big billionaire, in deep sleep, away from everything that he owns. Or a poor man also. State of deep sleep is same for both. And they go away from whatever they are attached to. So happy. Consciously if we can do, that is detachment. Where I live as a free person. Detachment is equal to freedom, is equal to happiness. That I have to understand. Now he goes on to say 5 more things he gives, 5 more pointers. If I cultivate these 5 qualities, then I will experience that state of changeless happiness going beyond samsara. This is the 5th verse. Nirmana mohajita sanga doshaha adhyatma nitya vinivritta kamaha dvandvai vimukta sukha dukkha sanyaihi gacchantya mudha padam avyayam tat. See, this first line, the first word is very important in chanting especially. Nirmana means free from man. Nirmana means to create. Lot of people chant Nirmana moha jita sanga dosha. Nirmana moha means one who creates moha. Nirmana moha. Nirmana means one is free from pride. First quality. This is 5-star verse actually. 5 points Bhagavan gives. Nirmana, free from pride. And moha. Nirmana moha actually is one word. Free from pride and delusion. Second, jita sanga dosha. Free from attachments, and sanga also means company. So free from company of people who distract us from the path. So nirmana moha, jita sanga dosha. Adhyatma nitya, the constancy in spiritual practice, or steadiness or regularity, simpler word, regularity. Adhyatma nitya, third point. Vinivritta kama, free from selfish desires. Dvandvai vimuktaha sukha dukkha sanyaihi, free from pairs of opposites. Means does not fluctuate in pairs of opposites. Pairs of opposites will come, one can't be free from them. One doesn't go up and down with them. Jita sanga dosha, dvandvai vimukta sukha dukkha sanyaihi. Such people are called amudhaha. They are people who are freed from delusion. What do they attain? Padam avyayam tat gachanti. They attain that supreme state of happiness which we all see, that state of fulfillment. Avyayam, meaning that which is changeless. That state of changeless happiness, which we don't experience in samsara, will be experienced by whom? Who has these 5 qualities? What are the 5? What is the first one?
Free from pride.
Free from pride and delusion. Second, free from attachment and company of those who distract us. Then, constancy in spiritual practice. Then,
Free from selfishness.
free from selfish desires. Fifth one, free from fluctuations in pairs of opposites. 5 things. Your homework for tomorrow is memorize this verse. Gurudev used to tell us, memorize this verse. If it is not memorized, it will not stay here. Once it is memorized, you can remind yourself every day. Next 21 days, go on chanting this verse every day at least 3 times. Once in the morning, once in the afternoon, once in the evening. And internalize these 5 values. If we want to understand the essence of spirituality also, this one verse is enough. These 5 values are more than enough. Because they tell you the goal. Goal is padam avyayam, changeless happiness. They tell you the means. These are the 5 qualities. That's all it is. So nirmana moha. Mana means what? The pride of what one has, on which one depends for happiness. There is nothing wrong in having. Suppose I am very young. The mana of that means I feel good because of that, and my sense of self-worth comes from that. The first wrinkle that comes, first white hair, or one pimple is there, no young people, pimple. When we were growing up, there was no concept of fairness cream for man. Now it is there much more than women. Something keeps coming, Nivea for men and this and that. What? We never thought of all that. We just grew up happily. Now, there's a man, day man. That is. Dhana. I am so wealthy, I am this, I am that. Why? What is wrong in that? There's nothing wrong, but one should outgrow those limitations, because this is however big it is finite, no, compared to what is infinite. Here what one seeker is seeking is that which is infinite, which is one's own nature. Compared to that, it is all changing, perishable, finite. So nirmana, the moment one becomes free from mana, one comes to that state. What holds us back is only our man, dhana, jana, people, the power, the position, the wealth. Nothing wrong in having any of these. But if I have pride of these, then I derive my sense of self-worth. Because of this, I am what I am. That is delusion. That's called moha. So he says, nirmana and moha. Get out of that mana and moha. They are things, they have utility value. They may be necessary. It must be only till that much. If they come, I don't become any greater. If they go, I don't become any lesser. That state of security within, that is called nirmana moha. And also what does that bring? That brings a lot of humility. Nirmana moha. Humility is the first condition for gaining self-knowledge. If humility is not there, self-knowledge cannot be experienced only, because the ego is so strong, and that's the main problem. And why is the ego strong? Because it derives its security from everything outside. The moha that it has, the mana that it has. So nirmana moha. Now Shivaji won a victory in some fort he conquered. And there is a feast. And his guru has come, Samarth Ramdas. And he feels, I have won, and he's so proud, and then he's feeding so many people, and so he received Samat Ramdas. And Samat Ramdas sensed now this man of victory has gone inside. So he told Shiva, come here. He said, go to that wall and take that one brick is protruding up, take it up. So he went there and it was fixed inside. So he did some hard work and then he pulled out that brick. And there inside that there was one frog. And that frog was eating something. And Shivaji realized that who gives is the Lord. I am feeling the pride that I won. I am feeding so many people and I have had this victory. It is actually Bhagwan who is doing everything. That frog somewhere inside that brick in the wall is also being taken care of by the Lord. And what am I? Just an instrument. Nirmana. So all that mana, moha, etc. makes the mind inflated, has to deflate. So nirmana moha. How this mana and moha will go? More and more I do vivek, that mana and moha will go. Vivek of all that which I have is so temporary. It will just go away like this. In 1 second it can just go away. Either it will go away or I will go away from it. Gone. 1 second. Finished. And how much time it took to build all that up? Gone like that. Nirmana moha. So if I more and more contemplate on the ephemeral nature of life and death, both, and death is inevitable, then mana and moha will go. We will do what we need to do, but the exaggerated value not required. Nirmana moha. Rockefeller came, once. He gave one big donation to Vivekananda. One big pride, I gave such a big donation and his work is happening because of that. And Vivekananda is doing his work and Rockefeller wants to meet. And Vivekananda knew that this man has got that now. Because if he has given the donation, now he thinks that he can do anything and he wants to come and meet me now. When he is writing something, doing some work, he is told to wait. I'll come and meet you. 2-3 times a message is sent, tell Vivekananda, Rockefeller has come. He did meet him for 10 days. I am not going to meet him. Finally he came with humility, apologizing, and Vivekananda made him realize that be grateful that you got an opportunity to serve a divine cause. With or without you, the work of the Lord will go on. And it's not Vivekananda telling this to him in ego, he is telling him this in all his humility, that needs to be understood. He himself went there, when Vivekananda went to America, his baggage was stolen. Imagine he is gone there to World Parliament of Religions, the letter also is not there, baggage is not there, kapada is not there, nothing is there. He doesn't know anybody in that land. What does he do? He is sitting happily in a goods train, chanting the verses of Kathopanishad and saying, the Lord has brought me from there till here, He will take me ahead also. Next day he goes to that office of that World Parliament of Religions and he introduces himself, I am Swami Vivekananda, I have come from India. So they ask him proof, where is the proof? He said, everything got stolen, I don't have. That lady is not ready to believe. But the person who was the main convener of that World Parliament of Religions had travelled with Vivekananda in the ship. So he knew him. And there he was, he met him. Vivekananda doesn't know he is the convener. He happily just chatted away with him and then that man went, they all got down, everything finished. And he met him there and he said, yes, I know him and he is come, you please accept. So the Lord who brought him from there, that humility he has and the whole work that he did In 9 years' time, he established that whole Ramakrishna mission. 1893 he started. He gave that world Palme religion. 1902 took Samadhi. Finished. 9 years' time. Whole Ramakrishna mission established. Complete humility. Though he spoke with such authority and such strength, and if you read even today his books, that one small book of his, transformed my whole life. That book is called Thoughts of Power. This much only it is. It has quotations. I happened to go to receive somebody at Chennai railway station at 2 o'clock in the night, early morning. The train was late, 1.5 hours late. I sat there. So there the Ramakrishna mission stall was open at 2 o'clock in the night. So I went there and I stood there in a small book. He said, okay, 1 hour you can finish that book. So let's took that Thoughts of Power. I'm reading. My God, what power those words have even today, because it's born from that heart which has experienced humility, which has experienced surrender, devotion, everything. And from what he was, a skeptic wanting to find out whether God even exists, to what he became. Not possible unless the person has humility. So nirmana moha is the first thing. Then jita sanga dosha. Overcome the flaw, dosha of attachment. So one has to consciously make a list. What are the things without which I cannot be happy? And start working on those. That even without this I can be happy. Jita sanga dosha. And also make a list of people who distract one from the spiritual path. In Ramayana it is said, Tajiye koti vairi sama. Yadyapi parama sanehi. Even if that person is very dear to you, but if that person takes you away from the Lord, consider that person like 100 enemies. Crores of enemies. Meaning we go away from that person. Bharatji tells this, he actually tells Kaikeyi, his mother, that what you have done. You have sent Bhagavan away from here. I leave you. I abandon you. I am no more your son. He is a Param Bhakta, Ananya Bhakta. So, Jita Sangha Dosha. One cannot abandon, at least mentally ignore what they say. Because it's not easy to ignite the spiritual spark. Very easy, anybody can put it off. The responsibility to maintain that spiritual spark is in our hands. We have to maintain it, we have to protect it. So, Nirmana Moha Jita Sangha Dosha. How to protect it? Adhyatma Nitya. No compromise in spiritual sadhana. That's where Niyam helps. Whatever helps me to remember my goal of life, that is my spiritual sadhana, which I should do constantly. So there are two types of constancy. One is the Nitya Karma, where I sit and I do my japa or puja or dhyan or bhajan, whatever it is. One fixed time for sadhana, fixed quantity, that is important. Then is the support at other times. So it can be a japa which is going on in the mind, or it can be a shloka that I keep remembering, or it can be some bhajan, whatever. Something that keeps the mind tuned to a higher purpose. It can even be seva. But the bhav of seva I must be able to maintain. It's not just getting lost in words. It's a bhav, nitya, adhyatma nitya. So constancy in spiritual practice. It can be something I have studied. So my sadhana must be such that it helps me to turn introvert. Don't say that I am reading 5 pages a day. That is my sadhana. That also is spiritual sadhana. But here what it means, adhi means the self. Atma is the true nature. What will turn the mind within, that is called adhyatma sadhana. So I should be able to sit quietly, close the eyes, withdraw from the senses and think about the self. Don't say that I am going to walk every day for 20 minutes, that is my sadhana. That also is sadhana, but not this, that's not meant here. Here it means what turns the mind within. So even if I sing a bhajan, my mind is turned away from the senses. away from the body, away from things. That withdrawal is important. Adhyatma nitya vinivritta kama. The more I find joy in my adhyatma sadhana, desires will drop automatically. See, we struggle not to. Desires don't go by fighting, they go by love. When the heart is full, then desires don't arise. Desires arise when the heart is empty. Like food, when we eat and we are full, is there a desire to eat more? No desire. Because I am full. So if there is love in the heart, that's why bhakti helps there. Ishwar bhakti, Guru bhakti, they are very beneficial. Where the person finds the joy in that sadhana. Adhyatma nitya also will happen when there is a joy. Initially it may be a struggle as a rule that I must sit and do every day. But once the person starts experiencing the joy of it, one will look forward. How we look forward every day. However boring the serial may be. 7:30 in the night. And fight with everybody so that I will see that one channel. Because there is a joy in it. Nobody has to force. 7 o'clock onwards I am sitting there. Because there is a joy. So if I find the joy in sadhana, and joy in sadhana comes, one just needs little bit of patience and regularity. One keeps doing that, so much of joy. Adhyatma nitya vinivritta kama. So kama will go, selfishness goes when there is joy from a higher source. You say no desire, no, I should not entertain the desire, no, I should not entertain the desire. That desire will become more stronger. To turn the mind to something higher. Vinivritta kama. And then dvandve vimuktaha sukha dukkha sannehi. Freedom from these pairs of opposites. Why should I be free from being affected by pairs of opposites? This has come so many times till now in this 15 chapters that we have done. Almost every second chapter this comes. Equanimity of the mind. Don't fluctuate. Because there is a lot of energy required for spiritual life. Fluctuation just drains away everything. No. Exhausts a person actually. It is very interesting. This applies at all levels. Even at body level. Anything that creates fluctuations in the body is very harmful for the body. Simple example is white sugar. The moment one takes white sugar, the glycemic index will shoot up. Gone. Glucose will release so fast. The whole body goes into a toss. That's why it needs food which is stabilizing. So the definition of sattvic food you will see in 17th chapter. Rasya snigdha sthira. Sthira is the word. That which is stabilizing. You should not create fluctuation. Vidya, which is good for heart. Same way at the breath level if you see. When I jog, what happens? Breathing is very shallow. Very fast. When I am in concentrated work, I am not even aware of my breathing. It becomes so shallow. It's not even breathing properly. Both these will not help. Stability in breath is also required. At all levels is required. Body level, breath level, mind level also fluctuation should not be there. How to do that? Only one way to do that is, unless there is something higher to hold on to, mind will keep on holding on to something petty and keep going up and down. There is nothing better to do. Why should I even conserve my energy? For what? There is nothing higher to do. So my mind will just go. Adhyatma nitya, vinivritta kama, dvandve vimukta, sukha dukkha sannyaya. These are 5 points. In these 5 points, if you see nirmana moha and jita sangha dosha, these are things which one should drop. They are called tyajya. Adhyatma nitya is something which one should do. That is called karya. Every day I should do that. Vinivritta kama, is, if I do these three, the mind will automatically become free from selfishness and desire. Dvandve vimuktaha. This is the secondary result. The fluctuations will stop. The mind will become steady. And when that mind becomes steady and still, the main fruit is padam avyayam tat. One will experience that supreme happiness. So it's a very, very beautiful verse. And one should remember this and try and apply this. Nirmana mohajita sangadosha. In all these five, suppose you say, Swamiji, five things to apply, very tough. Tell me one thing to apply. So in all these five, which is one thing which one can use? Which if you do, the rest will come. Adhyatma nitya. If you focus on that adhyatma nitya, rest everything will happen. Constancy in spiritual practice. And constancy in spiritual practice means if I do my swadhyaya and sadhana well, that's done. No compromise in swadhyaya and sadhana. No matter how much work is there, whatever it is. Adhyatma nitya will automatically bring nirmana moha. Because if there is clarity, moha will not be there. That swadhyaya brings clarity. Vinivritta kama also will happen because there is a joy in the sadhana. Sangha dosha also will happen because I am very clearly aware that why am I doing the spiritual path, spiritual sadhana. Dvandve vimukta also will happen. So, in all the five, the key here is adhyatma nitya. I must hold on to that. If you look at Gurudev's life, he built so many temples, ashrams, orphanages, hospitals, schools. My God, unimaginable by one person to do so much. No compromise in morning class, evening class. 42 years, every morning Upanishad class or Vedanta class, every evening Gita class. That does not change. Meetings may be there, people will be there, camp will be there, whatever is there. But no compromise in that. Gandhiji also. 2 times he used to do prayer. As a spiritual person, one must really appreciate his constancy in spiritual practice. Being in a political field with so much of turmoil, forget his political decisions, a lot of them will be questionable. But being a spiritual person, practicing spirituality, being in a political field and maintaining that constancy, that one quality of Gandhiji also one gets. Adhyatma nitya. You will see lots of these saints will be like that. No compromise in that one thing which they will hold on to as their sadhana. That's another way to get out of this change, because change is such that it will just sweep us. And we will always postpone. The mind's trick is, it will postpone. बहुत काम है अभी, ये काम ही मेरी सेवा है, मुझे और कोई साधना की जरूरत ही नहीं है. बस the mind just, am I doing that with seva bhava? That I have to ask myself. And even if I am doing with seva bhava, the ability to withdraw, that uparati does not come only. So adhyatma nitya, very, very important. So these are these 5 we just saw. Now Bhagavan goes on to say that what is that goal, that state of permanent happiness. The 6th verse, he says, Natad bhasayate suryaha, na shashanko na pavaka, yad gatva na nivartante tad dhama paramam mama. Natad bhasayate surya, meaning there the sun does not shine. Na shashanka, nor the moon. Na pavaka, nor the fire. Yad gatva na nivartante, having gone there, one doesn't return. Tad dhama paramam mama, that is my supreme abode. It looks as though Bhagavan is some kidnapper. kidnap people and say, once you come to my abode, you can't return, gone. Yadgatva nanivartante. So let us remember, this verse is the definition of truth. This one line is the definition of truth. What is the definition of truth? Having attained that state, one never falls back into delusion. That is the definition of truth. Yadgatva nanivartante. If I experience that higher state of consciousness as my nature, again I fall back into the delusion that I am the ego, then why is that state even worth striving for? It's temporary. So truth is not an experience of the mind. Let us remember that. It's not some extraordinary mystical experience. Some light came and some Akashvani happened. What's मैं आ गया. Something, some Akashvani, people show all that. And literally Akashvani means they show the thunder happening. And science says in Akash there is no Vani. In space there is no sound. So what does all that mean? It means there is a divine experience within, intuitive experience. Not that somebody from outside is shouting now, okay, now you are realized. It's an intuitive, subjective experience. How the waker has woken up from the dream. Example will have limitation because the waker next night again can go back into the dream. But how the waker wakes up, in that way the person wakes up from this misconception that I am this body. And it is not a state which is fluctuating. Fluctuations happen in sadhana. Because of mind's karma and vasana, one will go to that state, again come back, come back. That is the sadhana time. Samadhi happens, again because of desire one is pushed back. Again samadhi happens, again pushed back. But a time comes that one never comes back. Why? Comes back meaning one will not fall into this state of delusion. One will know that I am that supreme playing this role. Yes, it goes on. Yad gatva na nivartante. So, in my contemplation, I should not think that some divine experience has to happen. Swamiji, every day I am contemplating, but no, nothing is happening. Somebody went to Ramana Maharshi like that, one foreigner. He said, I am living in your ashram for the last 1 year. Nothing has happened. He said, nothing will happen. If you expect something to happen, that is where you are stuck. Drop that. Nothing has to happen. You are the truth. And you will arrive at it the moment you drop your expectation. Seeker only is the sought. Waker only is the dreamer. And dreamer only is the waker. There is no difference. It's just false identification with one dream character that I think that I am that, and then suffering in the dream world and wanting some moksha. So a person who knows this very well, what will that person do? All false expectation one drops. Go on contemplating only on the self. What is the contemplation? This. Natad bhasayate surya. This is a very mystical verse actually. Mystical in the sense, a very symbolic verse. Sun means the 5 senses. The eyes, So 5 senses of knowledge. Meaning the truth is not an object to be seen. One can't have a darshan of truth like outside. Outside darshan, whatever one has, is only maybe a glimpse. It comes and goes. So if I think that Bhagavan will be experienced out there, it will not happen. It will be in here. Isha darshanam swatma rupatah. That's what Ramana Maharshi said. Beautifully said. Isha darshanam swatma rupatah. You will experience divine Lord in your heart as yourself. Moon is the mind, so it is not a feeling. Even bhav samadhi, because of bhavana, because of purity of emotion, when one goes into that state of surrender and stillness, that our mind is in a high state of samadhi. Again it comes down from it. Ramakrishna used to go like that. His vairagya and his practice of samadhi was such that many times he had to tell people to keep gulab jamun next to him to prevent him from going into that state. How difficult we find to reach to that state, for him it is difficult to remain in this state. He said, give gulab jamun, then I can relate with you, otherwise gone in that. And he used to do like that. Vivekananda ji had seen him like that. Some bhajan he will be singing and Ramakrishna is gone. Sometimes dancing, he will dance on the bhajan and standing, he is gone into samadhi. And his nephew, Hriday, he used to hold him because the body will fall down. 21 days, 30 days, 40 days, he is in the samadhi sthiti. And then he will pour water from the side somewhere to sustain that body. So he used to experience all that. The go up and go, come down and all that. But once he broke that barrier of the form of Mother Kali, Nirgun Nirakar, firm abidance, then no coming down, going up. So it is not a feeling. Again, fire is a speech. Speech means the five senses of knowledge. Five senses of action. So it is not attained by any amount of activity. It is a state experience when you transcend the BMI. And it is not a mere thoughtlessness that every night happens in deep sleep. So to contemplate that, what is that which is beyond senses, beyond breath, beyond body, and beyond mind, beyond intellect, beyond ego. In me there is that state. To steadily contemplate on that state is this. Yad gatva na nivartante tad dhama paramam mama. That is my supreme abode. See these verses, when one does not understand these verses, then one misunderstands these words. So dham, the word dham means abode. So then many times one makes a conclusion that okay, there is one dham and Bhagavan is in that dham, and divine beings are there all around him, and then I will go and stay there. So in bhakti, that is one method. Sagun Sakar Bhakti, one of the methods of Sagun Sakar is dham chintan. One goes on thinking, because better than doing Vishaya chintan. Better it is to imagine, Bhagavan is there, but don't imagine that God is somewhere up there like that. That's to make the mind single pointed, bring forward that surrender. For that is done. Otherwise, why will he say this? That tad dhama paramam mama, that is my supreme abode, having gone where there is no return. So there are people who will interpret this in that way, that moksha in Dvaita, moksha is you reach the abode of Bhagavan and you are there forever now. What kind of moksha is that? If I am holding on to my sense of limitation and Bhagavan is there and I am in that abode, how is it moksha? The fulfillment has still not come. Maybe great sense of joy is there because I am close to Bhagavan, possible. But I still hold on to my small ego, and that's the cause of my sorrow. So, idea here is to understand that going to the dham of the Lord means to be in the same state where Bhagavan is, not the same abode, some same place. How do we know that? This is the logic. That the effect can never know the cause because cause is subtler than the effect. The body, mind, intellect are the effects. Consciousness is the cause. So the concept of moksha must be clear. In every level of evolution, the concept of moksha is different. Because not everybody can understand moksha as Advaitic concept that you are that infinite absolute reality. So the Dvaita concept of moksha is you are a servant of the Lord and you will surrender to Him. He is a master, you will be in His abode. And you reach there. That is the Dvaita concept of moksha. Not wrong, but not the ultimate. We should remember that much. Because if that was the ultimate, so many saints would not have got the experience of Advaita. Namdev used to play with Vitthal. Now why does Vitthal Bhagavan have to send him to another saint and make him experience a non-dual bliss? That is not required. So many of these masters you will see in their lives. At one point they would have followed Dvaita Bhakti. Then by grace of Bhagavan they come to Advaita. They experience. That's the fulfillment there. In 7th chapter, if you remember, Bhagavan said, Artha, Artharthi, Jignasu and Jnani. And he defined Jnani as Jnani to Atmaiva me matam. Jnani is my own true self. He is one with me.
What is Vishesha?
I'll come to that. Vishishta Advaita. Dvaita is where the Lord and the devotee are two different completely. Bhagavan is Sarvajna, Sarvashaktiman, Sarvavyapi. Jiva is Alpagnya, Alpashaktiman, Alpavyapi. And God and man are different. They can never be one. And moksha there is you go close to God and keep serving Him. Vishishta Advaita means you are not completely different from God, you are a part of God. So if God is like the ocean, you are like the wave. So the qualities of God which are infinite measure in Him, they are there in small measure in you also. So you are a part of that Bhagavan. And what is the concept of moksha there? That you must realize that you are a part of the totality and surrender to that totality. That's it. So if I know this very clearly that these are levels, Advaitic concept of moksha is you are essentially one with the Lord. And the equipment, body, mind, intellect will not be able to experience that. One has to transcend the body, mind, intellect and the ego. Hence, when this verse says neither the sun, the moon, the fire, nothing can illuminate, meaning consciousness is the source from where all these derive the power. How the mind is able to think, how the body is able to perform actions, how the breath is functioning. From where do these get the power? How are the things in the world happening? The ultimate source of this universe is that consciousness. So nothing can know that consciousness as an object because it is infinite by itself. So a very nice example Gurudev used to give was the battery. So the torch which is there, the light is coming from the bulb. Now, if the person removes, if the bulb wants to know from where it is getting the light, and the batteries are removed from it, it is dismantled, and then the bulb tries to come and see from behind, how will it know? There is no light only inside. A limitation of example, but that's what he used to say. That it is like that, the body, mind, intellect cannot know it. So in one place he wrote, you will never understand it. You can only go and stand under it. Stand under it meaning you drop your identification with the BMI. So in our Chinmay Pradeep we are having that line there. This body, mind, intellect, the BMI chart, we are making it into 3 concentric circles. You can walk on it and understand the BMI chart. And when you come down, you will be below that Om. And we have written the quote there, you can never understand it, you can only stand under it. Stand under it and meditate that your consciousness is one's nature. So the more one reflects on this line, Yad Gatva Na Nivartante Tad Dhama Paramam Mama, that is my supreme abode. So where is this God? This line is to say that. It's not some Vaikuntha, some Brahmalok, some Kailash, some Saket and all that. No? Even if you have darshan like that. A lot of people go to Kailash and they say, Swamiji, that when I went there, that mountain looked exactly like Shiva from the side, like that. No problem, that is a good experience to have, and then, one feels that devotion to Lord Shiva, very good. But what after that? Till the subjective experience doesn't happen of transcending the ego, oneness doesn't happen. So his supreme abode is beyond time, space and objects. It is consciousness which is infinite. If that comes to my mind, this understanding of moksha, a lot of things in spirituality become very clear. Otherwise one will reject spirituality, because to any thinking person, this kind of a reward is of it's not tempting enough to live spirituality. After death I will go to some abode of some Bhagavan and then be there and then surrender to that Bhagavan. Some people may feel inspired by it and that is their path which they choose, which is good. But intellectually one who is thinking won't appreciate that. So one wants it here and now. And one wants the experience of fulfillment, not some experience that comes and goes. Immediately after this verse, Bhagavan says that even though that state is the supreme state which is our nature, yet false identification is what makes us this jiva. And one very strong verse which Dvaitins use is this verse. He says, see, Bhagavan said in this Gita, Mamai Vamsho Jiva Loke, that in this world my Amsha is this Jiva. And this Jiva is Sanatan, meaning there is no moksha for this Jiva. You will remain as a servant of God, eternal Das. Manashasthani Indriyani Prakriti Sthani Karshati. And this consciousness resides over the mind and the five senses. Manashasthani Indriyani Prakriti Sthani Karshati. And that is the nature of the Prakriti. So, at the time of birth, it gets associated with the body, the mind and the five senses get associated with the body. At the time of death, these eject out of the body. And this jiva is the one who is eternal. And what is the nature of the jiva? Is a part of that. So the Vishishta Advaiti will always say that I am a part of that God. Advaiti will always say you are an eternal Das of God. And there is no condemnation of this philosophy. There is only an understanding of the levels. One should know the levels clearly. Each one requires a different level based on their own temperament and evolution. So at a relative level, I am a part of God, just like the wave. Every wave is a part of the whole ocean and water. There is no doubt in that. So everyone is a part of the divine, not just me only. Each individual. Meaning when I say that Mamai Vamsho Jiva Loke, I should know very clearly that this whole universe, everyone is a part of the Lord. So everyone is divine. Why is that so? Because Bhagavan is omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient, and Jiva is limited. So it is natural that I am a part, that is the whole, or I am different from that. These two are the most common standpoints, and everybody begins with these only. Nobody begins straight away with Advaita. It is not possible because they are attached to the body. So he is the one who is same with us in all the lives. People come and they go. If I know that I am a jiva, just imagine what is the difference. Today I think I am the body, and so I am even scared of death because my existence is this body. Body goes, then who am I? But I am actually a jiva which has travelled many lives. Hence Gurudev used to give us this understanding that we are a part of God only because of ignorance. And the example given in Vedanta is the pot space and the room space and the outer space. So a pot space, so there is a pot, there is space inside it, that is called pot space. And then there is a space outside it. So if the pot is in the room, there is a pot inside it, that is called pot space. It is conditioned by the room, so that is called room space. But outside, where there is no boundaries, is the main space. Now are the three spaces different? Pot space, room space, outside space. No, they all are same. One space only. But because it is enclosed with a small pot, it is called as pot space. Because it's enclosed with a little bigger pot space, it is called room space. But actually it is only space. Same way, identified with one body, we feel I am different, world is different. One has to get out of that. So from Advaitic standpoint, one must know that essentially we are one and the same. There is no difference absolutely. So this shloka, Mamai Vamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana, in Bhagavan's time, when he told the Gita, this asterisk mark conditions apply was not there. Otherwise he would have put there asterisk conditions apply. What are those conditions? Because I am identified with the BMI, then I am a jiva, and then I feel I am a part of that. Otherwise I am not a part of that. I am that whole. Even science-wise, if you see, today nowadays, a lot of these videos are there, They will zoom you out from this Earth into solar system and then galaxy and many galaxies, and they'll zoom you out completely. And there you will see all dot. And then they'll zoom in within the atom and proton, neutron, electron, all that, and then string and the quarks and that. And they find that what is in the tiniest is the same which is in the mightiest. Science-wise also. There is no difference. So, Mamaivamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana is not a verse to be understood that this is a verse which says that I am a small Amsha and that Bhagavan is the total. That is only because I am attached to the body. So I am going to end here with this small. Let's see this video tomorrow because this will be a 10-minute video. It will get late. I will see this tomorrow. And tomorrow we will conclude this explanation. Om. Om